Hello everyone, warm welcome to the International Conference and IRF Research Forum meet organized by Institute of Research and Journal Forum. So it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all for this international conference. So talking about the organization and giving a brief about the Institute of Research and Journal Forum, IRF Research Forum in association with many organizations has been conducting conferences across the globe, right? And we have we have still participants joining. So it's an organization which conducts international conference and members meet across the globe and in the field of science, engineering, technology, management, and humanities. And all. So few more points to add on with respect to the organization. It's a decade-old organization conducting many conferences and all, and across the globe, right? And we have like more than 10 journals, peer-reviewed journals with us in the field of science, technology, and management. And also with respect to our organization, we have the organization is having like more than 1 lakh paper has been accepted and published in this organization, and more than 50,000 people have been associated. So it's a small brief about the organization. So let us do one thing without wasting much time. We will go ahead and start up with the session, and then we will start up with the session. So now I would like to call upon the first participant for the day. Yeah, we have like almost 27 participants who are presenting the presentation. So what we will do is we will request the participant to kindly restrict your time limits in the presentation for maximum of 8 minutes, right? And I will give a reminder mail message also with respect to 8 minutes. So please restrict your presentation for 8 minutes, and we can quickly wind up and stick to the timings and appreciate the timings out here. So let me now go ahead and call upon the first presentation for the day. So before that, let me go ahead and do a few things. Well, I have enabled the screen sharing option. Let me now go ahead and call upon the first participant for the day. So for presentation, we have Nora coming, Abdul Rahman to present.
Uh,
Good afternoon, dear commit. It's an honor to be here to present our article entitled Evaluation of Bacterial Sulfur Civilizability in Agricultural Soil Associated with the Development of Citrus Unshu, that is Mandarina Satsuma, in Guaralima, which I made together with my co-author, Jose Fernando Villanueva and Juan Carlos Ramos Urbeña. Just I'm going to do a little bit of introduction. That the Satsuma tangerine, also known as Citrus unshu or Mica, belongs to the Rutaceae family and is original from East Asia, the absence of seeds turning it into a distinctive Japanese citrus fruit. This plant prospers in subtropical areas with warm or temperature climate with temperature ranging between 12 and 26 and humidity of 80%, and it is recommended for it to be cultivated in well-drained soil. In the year 2022, a total of 1,372 tons of Satsuma tangerine were exported for a value of $29 million, consolidating it as the most exported tangerine variety exported nationality. In the last decade, Peru has emerged as one of the main tangerine producers globally, owing to its high quality standards and expansion of its production. Okay. Despite good agricultural practice, tangerine cultivation has faced challenges such as plagues, diseases, or fluctuations in climate conditions, which has impact at the tangerine physiology. In order to address the challenges in the production of citrus unshu, that is Satsuma tangerine, it is fundamental to assess the phosphato-solubilizing ability of the soil bacteria associated with the development of this tangerine species. One of the main sanitary challenges is its production is pathogenic bacteria and fungi such as Alternaria and Botryopspheriae, which affect the development of plants, constant application of fertilizers, pesticides, and other chemical inputs in agriculture negatively affect soil quality through the exposure of diverse microorganisms, which aid in biochemical cycles. The objective that we produce or make started doing this article are to analyze the phosphorus-solubilizing capacity of the Bacillus and Pseudomonas genera in mandarin cultures, also determine the physiochemical parameters as temperature, humidity, pH, electrical conductivity of the soil. Okay, so we just make a little bit of steps to make this article that is composed by soil collection of physicochemical parameters that is part of materials and methods. The collection of the samples took place in the month of April 2023 in Funda Caboyal, located in the province of Oral, Peru. Collection of soil samples was carried out in accordance with a specific protocol in line with directive details in Peru's soil sample aid. Obviously, we are trying to guide of this because it's completely fundamental to make or protect all the soils the soil samples to another place, not a total of 1 kilogram samples were collected, taken from a depth of 20 to 45 centimeters as close as possible to the rhizosphere of the crops. They were then placed in earth-tight bags, labeled, and transported to the Applied Microbiology Research Laboratory in Universidad Ricardo Palma in order to carry out the corresponding analysis. The samples' physicochemical parameters were provided by the labs and technological service company. The soil's electric conductivity was analyzed with a result of 0.24 and the pH measure at 8.37. Furthermore, granulometry indicated that the soil is composed by clay, silt, and sand. So the second step that we make for this article was isolation of bacteria. The main objective of using different agar medium types was to achieve selective isolation of microorganisms. So I'm going to explain a little bit fast about this part, that is for the isolation of Bacillus and Pseudomonas bacteria placed with nutrient agar as well as intermediate agar were prepared. Progressive dilutions were carried out on each soil samples, and the representative dilution was used for the spread on intermediate agar. The final dilution was extracted for spreading on the surface of each type of agar using a Drygalski spatula. Also, I'm going to split a little bit a part of this. That is, we use a representative dilution composed by 225 millimeters of peptone water with 25 grams of soil. That we use this representative dilution for the spread on intermediate agar, while 100 microliters of the final dilution was extracted for spreading on the surface of each type of agar using a Drygalski spatula. Following this, the samples were stored in an incubator during a period of 24 to 48 hours in order to allow for bacterial growth and to facilitate the interpretation of the results. Another aspect that we are trying to do, or what we did, is the bacterial identification. That tool is composed by two aspects, just not the macroscopic, just the microscopic. First, the macroscopic description, that what we did is that prepare test tubes for the selected microbial strains by adding also 100 microliters of each to 5 millimeters of nutrient agar with medium solution. And the microscopic description that we made is the gram stain technique. that were used for the assessment of microscopic characteristics in order to differentiate between gram-positive and gram-negative. That make a select group of factorial strains. As we can see, the first photo for the right is just not a nutrition agar. Also, behind of this is a gram-positive and gram-negative. Okay, the third step that we made is the determination of phosphorus In order to determine the bacteria's phosphorus ability, we use the NBRIP, that is National Botanical Research Institute Phosphorus Rose medium was prepared, which is composite by this type of different layers. As we can see, just not the composite, also the quantity. We make the mix with 20 grams agar and 1 liter of distilled water. Adding also bromophenol blue at 0.025 grams per liter concentration as an indicator of pH change to identify the production of organic acids due to the change of coloration from blue to yellow. As we can see, the medium was poured into 15 for 15 Petri plates, after which previously autoclavated. 1 centimeter tall steel cylinders were placed on the center of the plate for the formation of the wedges, where 215 microliters of the different strains were inoculated to facilitate the determination of the phosphorus solubilizing ability. These plates also were then incubated for a period of 24 hours, taking into account the density of 10/6 bacteria found per 1 milliliter of sample used to predict the amount of bacteria. As we can see at the photos, obviously we are going to have a different colorization of the halo that we can just see just one for Pseudomonas, another for Bacillus. And to see that we can make is a little bit of a tower to understand that all of the Petri plates have the same color, but obviously the halo is going to be different. And we use just metallic thing just to make this position in all the good environment. Okay, so what we have about our article is the results of discussion. In table number 1, as we can see, it's going to be like a table that will represent, obviously, the soil samples for numbers that we collect, and just not to see just the differentiation between gram. As we can see, some of them are positive and some of them are negative. At the same time, we can see the solubilizing ability that obviously corresponds to everyone that is going to be positive. And at the same time of D, we can see a number of strains founded by soil sample. So out of a total of 19 bacterial strains for the Bacillus and Pseudomonas genera isolated from soil samples, 57 strains were optimal for assessment of their phosphorus solubilizing ability. And we can see the figure 1 and 2, as I mentioned, is just to be or see the colorization of the halos that is going to be completely different from blue to yellow, on this case, purple to yellow. And well, in the context of bacterial activity in the rhizosphere, the generation of organic acids as a mechanism which drives the solubilization of normally insoluble phosphorus complex has been documented, which then facilitates their uptake by the surrounding plant. The presence of phosphorus, as I mentioned, solubilizing bacteria in every medium was evidenced by the presence of these translucent or yellowish halos around the zone inoculated with the bacterial strain. So, halos, which indicate the solubilization of phosphorus that were observed in inoculated strains, which we are classifying this in 3 categories: halos smaller than 10 millimeters, halos smaller than 20, and halos smaller than 13. As we can see in the table number 2, we can see the accordance with this classification, the percentage just now to the number of strains, that is 7.02, 89.47, and 3.51. The halos is going to indicate the solubilization aspect. And for another way, we can see that the phosphato solubilization index, the PSI, as we can see, was determined following the method laid out by Restrepo. That obviously is another article that we support to make this article, and which consists of measuring the total diameter of the solubilization halo and dividing it by the diameter of the inoculum. This index was averaged for both the gram-positive and gram-negative variants of Bacillus and Pseudomonas bacteria, and then compared. As we can see in the table number 3, that is just going to be classified by bacterial genus, also the gram. For another aspect, the solubilization halo diameter, that is just the quantified aspect, and the solubilization index. Despite the predominance of strains belonging the Pseudomonas genus among the samples, PSI average for both Pseudomonas and Bacillus were completely similar, with the only difference of 0.155 or 6%. As we can say more specific note, for the other time, the figure number 3 that we can see, the graphic, is going to show us how the halo diameter and the phosphato solubilization index is going to be completely different, just not for the Bacillus, also for the Pseudomonas. So while we completely have a final discussion of all the article, we can consider that obviously talking in quantity aspect, we are going to find more Pseudomonas and Bacillus in a rhizosphere aspect. But obviously, if we are talking about generate this phosphato solubilization, we can see that Bacillus is going to be a little more than Pseudomonas. But obviously, as I mentioned, if we are talking about the quantity aspect, it's not going to be more than Pseudomonas. No, Bacillus is not going to sit a lot like Pseudomonas in this rhizosphere aspect. So thank you so much for your attention.
Okay, so good morning. The topic for the paper that I have submitted here is regression-based deep learning model for adaptive driving beam headlights. The authors are Dr. Nalinda Somaseri, Sangeeta Pokhrel, Swati Ganesan, myself, and Prashant Bikram Shah. So to start with, I'll just give the introduction about the abstract of the paper. This paper basically highlights how this YOLO V7 architecture is integrated with ADB, which is adaptive driving beam headlights, to provide a safety driving platform for the vehicles on the road. So this research discusses the future of ADB in the context of automated driving, especially. It explores the challenges and advancements in designing ADB system for real road conditions where the road could be quite bumpy because of the of various factors, various conditions, etc., including the use of cameras, sensors, and algorithms for detecting the objects and headlight beam adjustment. Here we have used YOLO, which is you only look once, to develop the model and detect the objects where real-time objects are captured and identified in terms of safety mechanism. The research also addresses the needs for advanced adaptive headlights in automobiles. To enhance the nightlight driving systems and suggest the incorporation of optical scanning system to improve headlamp efficiency for ADB applications. So moving to next slide, like, is my slide moving?
Yes, it's moving.
Okay, thank you. So, introduction here, we have discussed about the challenges in modern traffic monitoring, addressing the surge in diverse vehicles and complexities of driving in various conditions for effective monitoring. And also, we have discussed about the importance of object deduction. When it comes to importance of object deduction, automated driving and traffic surveillance plays an important role, which is much integrated with the recent breakthroughs in deep neural networks, and also real-time monitoring challenges, where in traditional methods like radar and lidar are time consuming, whereas adb headlights plays a vital role in early obstacle detection for accident prevention. And also YOLO architecture has been used for object detection, where we have various YOLO architectures which have been used in various researches previously. But for our research, we have used YOLO V7, a regression based deep learning model which redefines the object deduction with simultaneous localization and classification, ensuring real time efficiency. And also, as discussed, the research objectives and contribution aims to contribute to the real time deduction using YOLO V7, promising improved traffic management, highlight road safety, and enhanced identification of traffic vehicles. There are various research, literature study, and literature background which have been done based on the YOLO architecture in integration with the ADB, which is the adaptive driving beam headlights. So when it comes to fast YOLO rec algorithm, vehicle deduction and LSTM have been integrated, presenting the fast YOLO rec algorithm, introducing the semantic attention mechanism, and long short term mechanisms have been integrated for object deduction for a quicker testing purposes. And YOLO V3 speed training, a new network that were more accurate, which was run at 22 minutes for a 320 cross 320 pixel input, achieving a map of 28.2, comparable to SSD, but three times faster than the previous architecture, which is fast YOLO rec. Similarly, YOLO V4 and V5 has been integrated with a deep neural network, which is convolutional neural network for object detection, and their performance was also good. But when compared to YOLO V7, though all the architectures have got a very good accuracy, but when it comes to time, when it comes to how quickly it can detect object, and how quickly it can give you the accuracy, YOLO V7 outperform when compared to the other architectures. Methodology. So here we see that YOLO V7 employs a singular CNN with an holistic approach, predicting both bounding box coordinates and class probabilities in a single evaluation, enhancing computational efficiency and enabling real time deduction across the entire range. Its grid based methodology enhances computational efficiency and facilitates the real time object deduction across the entire image, which is very, very much needed for the automated automated automobiles. And the introduction of anchor boxes, focal nodes, carefully designed with the different aspect ratios, broadens object detection capabilities, addressing varying sizes and configurations. As it also introduced a novel loss function, which we call it as a focal loss function, which helps to determine the loss between the predicted and the actual images for detecting smaller objects in real time scenarios. And this method's adaptability extends to diverse applications, showcasing its efficiency beyond the traditional vehicle deduction which have been used previously. Results and analysis. When it comes to results and analysis, though the model architectures has been designed based on the existing images, the model has been trained. But for testing purpose, the research, we have collected real-time images in different road conditions, such as daylight, rainy roads, different road types, under different road types, and checked how this YOLO V7 works for them, especially in integration to the ADB headlights. How this ADB headlights automatically changes the beam light on detecting the objects. So identification of the objects were good, and how ADB is good for the road users clearly highlighted in this research. And we have attained an accuracy of 96%, which has been highlighted as one of the novelty in this paper. Okay, so conclusion, YOLO V7 performance, as discussed, it achieved an impressive accuracy of 96% in real world object detection, as real time data have been used to test the model, which highlights its robustness, its steadiness across various conditions. And integration of ADB for safety purpose, yes, successfully integrated with the ADB headlights. It provides tangible road safety enhancement, as this ADB helps you to automatically adjust the beams when an object is detected. And also versatile object detection, yes, real-time capabilities underscores its versatility, positioning it a pivotal component in adaptive driving system for diverse scenarios. Future recommendation, yes, when it comes to future recommendation, obviously due to the enhancements of technologies every time, every minute recently, YOLO V8. So the future aspect of this project would be to integrate or identify of the further architectures, especially YOLO V8 for object deduction based on the performance and capabilities in comparison to the YOLO V7. And obviously scalability with large data set will be challenging, because using data sets not only for this project, for every project is going to be a challenging. So addressing scalability challenges by optimizing the model architecture and training the method to handle larger data set in order to get an accuracy better, and which can be implemented for automated automobiles. And these are the few references that have been read for this research and has been highlighted in the paper. Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for attending. Actually, today I'm going to share with you my presentation, which is entitled Al-Matla City Resident Shaping the Future Housing in Kuwait. This is actually a paper that we have published with one of my colleagues, Dr. Ali Al-Najada. As we all know that architects and interior designers are continually facing the challenge of how to accommodate clients' social and cultural needs and wants. So the public housing in Kuwait, it has a specific program, governmental program, and one of the main challenges of those sustainability due to building unsuitable housing that do not meet citizens' need and requirements. The purpose of this study is to investigate Al-Matla City residents' housing needs, as well as their housing values, which influence their residential design. Basically, Al-Matla City is a newly constructed city in Kuwait, located exactly in the north of Kuwait. It contains 12 suburbs with 48,000 housing units. And so the construction companies didn't prioritize local social, cultural, and family needs in the housing projects. And we know that. So the goal of this survey is to learn more about how Al-Matla City residents' expectations and influence their residential design. The outcome of the study intended to help architects, interior designers, educators, and urban planners to know better understand the housing and design motivations of the housing industry. So the background of the study is, as I said, Matla City is the largest housing project constructed currently in Kuwait, and it hosts 28,000 units. So designing, the literature actually says that designing and building housing units depends on many factors. One of them are the sociocultural requirements that influence the family needs, and this one actually shapes the housing unit. The most important housing values for families in Kuwait after ownership are hospitality and comfort, So we can see that the culture has an influence on designing and building the houses. So here the research question actually addressed is, what are the family needs and wants of the family values of Al-Mutla residents? So the approach of the study actually is a descriptive, quantitative research approach, and I used online survey questionnaire. Participants' data were retrieved from governmental agencies. All of the participants were citizens of Kuwait, and they are allocated in Al Mutla city. The total of the participants were 219 participants in the study. More than half of them were males. And as you can see here from the graph, the majority of the participants were millennials. They are in their 30s and 40s. So they are young generation. That's why I intended to express their ideas of the housing units. And I asked the participants about their current residence. So more than half of them, they are living in extended family housing units. And actually, this idea may influence their future housing needs and wants. Also, I asked them about their preferences of their housing unit size. The majority use, as you can see on the graph, they want 3 floors or 3 floors and a basement units. So I asked them also about their essential requirements of their spaces, and they expressed that having some of the necessary needs in their housing units. Regarding the housing values of the families, the top 10 housing values were healthy housing, a home that provides freedom and independence, excellent residential location, comfortable dwelling, beautiful dwelling, family dwelling, as well as some of those housing values. And actually, those housing values influence the decision of the design. So based on my experience in the academia, and I do have an own a design and construction company, I wanted to show you some of those design of Al Mutla city residents, which we have designed in their housing units. As you can see, they do have, or they love the idea of having an open space housing with having an interior garden inside their housing. And there's also an interior garden inside the housing unit. This one also here shows the interior garden located between the family living room and the reception area, which has the idea of the centrality of the housing unit. And here we have many of the clients living in Al Mutla city residence. They really appreciate the idea of having a rooftop. So most of them, they have designed a rooftop as a gathering area, a barbecue station area, a place to entertain and to respite. And here also, the master bedrooms, most of them, they do have a huge master bedroom with a seating area and a huge closet room. And that actually concludes my presentation, and thank you for your
First, good afternoon, dear research and professionals and commit. I'm studying at the Ricardo Palma University. My name is Jose Villanueva, and with the student Miluska Falcon and the master Juan Ramos, we carried out the research called Evaluation of Bacillus and Pseudomonas as Stimulator of Roots Growth in Physativum Seeds. As a short introduction, the rhizospheric microorganisms or rhizobacteria enrich the quality of the soil, thus achieving the productivity of the plants. Plants growth promoting rhizobacteria play a number of important direct and indirect mechanisms, such as attracting bacteria to the rhizospheric zone in order to fulfill the associative symbiosis with the plant, giving way to hormonal balance.
In this research, we use the genera Bacillus and Pseudomonas rhizobacteria that promote plants' growth and influence their development through different camps. What is the objective of this research? Was to evaluate the promotion of root growth in Physon sativum seeds by inoculating strains of Bacillus and Pseudomonas as irrigation treatment for 15 days under conditions without light. Some parameters that we saw to evaluate that were of main relevance are the seeds of Physon sativum, Bacillus and Pseudomonas, the time that was 15 days, and the growth of the roots. Talking about the material methods, first we use isolate bacteria of soil from the Fundo Cabuyal. The Fundo Cabuyal is a large mandarin growing area here in my country, Peru. Then we went to the Gran Mercado Mayorista de Lima. That is a great wholesale market to buy different vegetables, and here bought Physon sativum seeds. To finally went to the laboratory to carry out our experimental development. And we divide the materials and methodology of the work in 4 main points, which are obtain strains of Bacillus and Pseudomonas first. And the strains used in the project were previously isolated, classified, and characterized in previous research carried out in the same laboratory. But as mentioned above, they come from that cultivation area. And the biological material and the culture condition, in order to provide the PS seed with a source of phosphates, rocks were collected from the soil to be used as a substrate. This substrate becomes more accessible as it degrades through crushing until finally obtain a shape similar to sandstone. And the pea seed was collected, washed superficially with distilled water, and disinfected with 0.5% sodium hypochlorite for 5 minutes. The seeds are placed in 50 milliliters conical plastic tubes, empty, and the conical plastic tubes were placed in an upright position to encourage root growth, stimulated by the presence of bacteria, source, or phosphates. Also, we addition cotton as a support for the biological sample, the seeds, and the sands. We can see that in in this image. And then to the description of the treatments for roots and developments. To reactive the strains, the same protocol was carried out, transferring each strain of Bacillus and Pseudomonas separately to a tube with nutrient broth and proceeding to incubate for 24 hours. The procedure to obtain the biomass was repeated twice for both bacteria. In each repetition, we reactive the strain was taking 400 microliters, was inoculated in a glass bottle containing 300 milliliters of nutrient broth. And finally, the application of the biomass of Bacillus and Pseudomonas was carried out at 5 days intervals during the irrigation of the pea seeds using sterile pipettes, approximately 3 times 10 to the power of 6 colony forming units of each biomass was absorbed and then deposited in the different treatments. Okay, talking about the resultant discussion, during the first 5 days of measurements, variations in root growth of Physon sativum seeds be observed in response to different treatments. The treatments with Pseudomonas M611C3 that we can see in the table 1 showed an initial growth of 3 millimeters, while the control with only water showed a growth of 6 millimeters. But for 15 days of measured of measure additional trend in root growth were observed. M611C3, that is Pseudomonas, continue to stimulate growth, reaching 30 millimeters, and the contour showed a cumulative growth of 24 millimeters. However, some treatment and controls did not present a specific measurement. It's important to say that we select bacteria with highest yield in National Botanic Research Institute phosphate grow medium and calculate the effectiveness or treatments. We use the formula in this figure 1. And what is the inoculation effectiveness index? In our case, the calculation was made for the end of the 15 days, at the end of the days, obtaining the highest value with Pseudomonas, resulting in an index of 25%. Also, other works mention higher percent of index related to other bacterial species, such as Pantoa, Klebsiella, or Serratia, but with the difference that they were with dry biomass measurements and not just height measurements. Also, other works considered more variables than the time and length of the initial roots. Calculations such as dry weight, wet weight, or even the numbers of cutting could be relevant for an analysis of variance. Although this last variable could not be applied because this preliminary work was done on a smaller scale. Like a final idea or a conclusion, the result of this study suggests that the presence of the bacteria strains, especially Pseudomonas, may have a positive impact on the root growth of Pisum sativus seeds. And this finding highlights the complexity of the plant microorganisms interactions and highlight the needs to consider the diversity of the soil microbiome when developing strategies to stimulate root in specific crops such as Pisum sativum. And that's all for me. Thanks for your attention. Thanks for the committee.
I'm sorry for the small writing that was there, but its impact of application of artificial intelligence to learning and development in managing organizations. So the thing is like this, that artificial intelligence is getting into the HR systems also. And in that, this paper examines the impact of applying the tools of artificial intelligence to the HR function of learning and development. And the critical factors of comprehending its strategic relevance, creating an effective self-learning space would ensure developing employees having a self-starter initiative. And towards this, I have certain keywords in terms of knowledge, skills, attitude, self-learning, upgradation of skills at work, and self-starters attitudes, elements of AI, that is artificial intelligence, and knowledge representation, computer vision, and all that is there when we are talking about. Oh, right. So then, can you see it? Hello? Can you see it? I'm sorry, I have lost it. Can anyone see this?
Yes, ma'am, we can see that.
Yeah. Okay. So the thing is, introduction is artificial intelligence refers to the development of computer systems that can perform tasks that require human intelligence, such as learning, problem solving, and decision making. AI technology aims to simulate human intelligence and enhance the capabilities of machines to perform complex tasks autonomously. For example, OpenChat.co allows you to connect your chat box with 5,000 integrations, making it available across various platforms and applications. This integration can streamline communication and can improve within the organization. This technology provides data sources such as website, URL, and PDF files to open chat. So this brings us to understand by leveraging AI technologies, organizations can gain competitive edge, improve decision making, and enhance the comprehensive efficiency and effectiveness dimension within the organization. An open platform implies that the software platform is freely available for anyone to use, modify, and distribute. It allows users to access and modify the source code, making it transparent and customized. OpenChat, being an open source platform, means that its Git, GitHub repositories are publicly available and users can contribute its development and trust its code. Then, what are the elements of AI? AI encompasses the following elements. One is machine learning, algorithms that enable system learn patterns from data and improve their performance over time. Then natural language processing, that is NLP technologies that enables machines to understand, interpret, and generate human language. Third is computer vision, AI systems that can interpret and understand visual information from the world, often used in image recognition and video analysis. The fourth one is robotics, AI driven machines or robots that can perform tasks autonomously or semi autonomously. Fifth one is the AI programs designed to mimic the decision making abilities of a human expert in a specific domain. The sixth one is knowledge representation, methods used to store and manipulate knowledge to be used by AI systems, and so on. Planning and problem solving, AI techniques that involves creating plans or strategies to achieve specific goals. The seventh one is specific speech recognition, technology that converts spoken language into written text, enabling interaction between human and computers through speech. So now this was all about AI. What are the components of learning and development in the area of HR? It is training programs, structured sessions to impact specific skills or knowledge relevant to employees' roles. Second is workshop and seminars, interactive sessions fostering collaborative learning, idea exchange, and skill development. Third is e-learning modules, online courses and digital resources for flexible and accessible learning. Fourth one is mentoring programs. Fifth one is performance support tools in terms of manual guide of software aiding employees in their day-to-day. The sixth one is career development plans, strategies outlining employees' paths within the organization with associated learning programs. And there are some more, like there is feedback and evaluation also through learning and development, one can help. Then eighth one is leadership development, programs to nurture leadership skills. Ninth one is on the job training. 10th is cross-functional training. 11th, soft skills training. And 12th is learning culture. That is what the organization can foster. This is what L&D does in an organization. Then knowledge sharing platforms also are available when we are talking about the L&D. These components collectively contribute to build a skilled, adaptable, and a high-performing workforce. Now, L&D in managing organizations involves activities aimed at enhancing the knowledge, skills, and abilities and attitudes of employees. It encompasses training programs, as one saw earlier. And the third point is effective L&D contributes to employee growth, adaptability, and overall organizational success by ensuring that individuals apply the necessary competencies in their roles. Now, application of AI to different aspects of L&D process. So here there are some 6 points that have been brought out. In first is personalized learning path can be made available to the employees. That is one thing. This opportunity facilitates personal growth at convenient pace of the employees. As and when he wants to see, he can see that. Second point is using of viewing virtual and augmented reality facilitates developing appropriate perceptions and comprehensions of real life context. Third is use of chatbots is an effective support to clarify any confusion of or queries that arise in workplace. The next one is fourth one is AI can have automated content creation that minimizes the pressure to create useful content for training and development. Then we look at the NLP, that is natural language processing can create text from dictations that can manage different report writing almost instantly and can result in instant documents made available. So that saves a lot of time. Then the last one is AI can be adopted to develop a software infrastructure to store several contents or at one platform. That is, a repository can be developed and can be used for the purpose of evolving learning and development and is slotted as learning management system called the LMS. So now benefits of AI is given in terms of basically there are three benefits. One is automation happens because of adoption of AI tools. It results in automation of administrative tasks like enrollment, scheduling, tracking is possible. The surplus availability of time and energy can be focused effort in formulating strategies of L&D activities. That is one benefit. The second is AI can be applied to create and enhance the effective and appropriate content material for training and generation simulation activities, and interactive content is possible. Assessment and measurement of employees and also the overall performance of an organization too can be accomplished swiftly. That is about automation. The second one is employee engagement. Adopting AI tools enhance employee experience. HR activities like employee training, AI powered onboarding, PMS feedback go with hand in hand with employee experience. So then basically employee engagement gets enhanced. But there is no substitute to soft skills, communication skills, leadership competency, and the ability to work as a team. Creativity and analytical skills require human mind, logic, and ability. So one is saying that AI also needs to have some human touch to it. AI can handle target data, yet in learning and development, real-time human experience is required, which comes through with emotional competence. So, and the third one is we are talking about the benefits, and first was automation, second is employee engagement, and the third is momentum in HR process seems to be possible due to automation as well as increased employee engagement. And so this is a threefold framework for AI application that I am coming out with. The outer side, the three things are automation, momentum, and employee engagement. Inside in the blue color is the context is very important. What is the investment that has to be seen, and the expertise will be required. So one will have to focus on expertise also. All this can be done through AI, but what is required is mentoring, the inside white lines. Mentoring is required. Ethics have to be of a specific kind in a particular situation, and interpersonal relation, that is IPR. So the inside things are very important, and this is what is required. This is a framework for AI application. And so this is what I'm saying in the framework is AI is surely is changing the way the work is done overall. Organization need to leverage its systems, process, and technical aspects through AI adoption. The concerns and challenges that are put forward here by the author need to be addressed swiftly. So that is one thing. The second is AI application in L&D results in employees engagement, increased momentum in activities and in automation. So AI would need to be contextualized, technical expertise need to be upgraded, and investment has to be done in the technology area. Would be imperative. At the same time, the human touch would be required in terms of mentoring senior executives, maintaining a human touch to interpersonal relationships along with soft skills, and focusing on live ethical aspects while taking strategic decisions. And then that is what one is really focusing on. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to be able to present this. Thank you.
Glad to share my paper titled Investigation of Consumer Shopping Intention in Small Stores. The paper includes 8 parts. Okay, the first part is research backgrounds. We know the new retail industry is a new model with moderation, coordination, and integrating smart technology. Smart shops include facial recognition, small sensors, small shelf, self-service checkout, interactive display, small inventory systems, and big data analysis. Alibaba and Web Store, small store. Past research addressed the adoption and acceptance of small technology. However, few studies focus the role of small technology in shopping behavior. So these papers adopt HISAM, that is Hedonic Information System Acceptance Models, include utilitarian and hedonic motivations. And we use technology readiness, including optimism, innovativeness, discomfort, and insecurities as moderators. The following is our questions. We try to answer the following questions. What are the utilitarian and hedonic motivation affecting shopping intentions? How does technology readiness moderate the relationship between motivation and shopping intentions? This is our research models. We can see perceived usefulness, perceived ease of use, positive, affective, perceived usefulness, perceived enjoyment, and shopping intention. And perceived usefulness and perceived enjoyments affect shopping intentions. And technology readiness plays moderators between perceived ease of use and perceived usefulness. Between perceived ease of use and shopping intention. Between perceived ease of use and perceived enjoyments. So there are 9 hypotheses. Methodology. We conduct questionnaire surveys. We use the back translation methods and the 7-point Likert scale. We distributed 500 questionnaires and received 298 valid samples. The demographic profiles are as follows. Males are 52%. Age is between 26 to 35. The respondents had university degrees, about 67.1%. Monthly income is between 4,500 to 60,000. We use PLSEM, that is small PLS, to conduct measurement model and structural models. The results include Hammer single factors and the non-response bias. The indicators fit the requirements of the papers. See, the table 1 shows convex alphas, CR value, AV value, and backloading values. Convex alpha and CR values are more than 0.7. AV value is more than 0.5. The table 2 shows inter-contra correlations. Table 3 shows HTMP. All values of HTMP are less than 0.9. Discussion. We can see technology readiness plays an insignificant moderators between perceived ease of use and perceived enjoyments. Implication for theory and practice. TAM envisions for extending customer behavior in small shops. So this model adopts ISAM to verify the role of hedonic and utilitarian motivations. Feature research shows differentials, pleasure-focused and performance-focused objects. Limited previous results on the impact of smart technology on consumer shopping intentions. Technology readiness is characterized as a personality trait, reflecting individual tendency towards new technology. This is a second-order formative factors with positive attitudes and negative attitudes, and plays moderating roles in HISAM model. From the practical perspectives, retailers should prioritize improving ease of use for in-store small technology, and streamlining purchase process simplifies entrance, optimize payment methods recommended. Perceived usefulness affect consumer intentions, so retail are advised to offer purchase recommendations, enhance compatibilities of smart technology, and minimize system-related problems. Perceived enjoyment has more dominant impact on consumer shopping intentions than perceived usefulness. Retail are encouraged to improve shopping experience and are suggested to incorporate gamification interface and interactive technology, and can be integrated small technology and marketing policies to enhance customer engagement. Technology readiness plays a moderating role in consumer behaviors. We can see ease of use has a stronger impact on perceived usefulness and shopping intentions with high overall technology readiness. So retailers should customize small technology and marketing strategies based on different level of technology readiness. Conclusion. The papers focus the importance roles of utilitarian motivation and hedonic motivations. Technology readiness is shaped by two contributors and the two indicators. Limitation and the future research. The studies has some limitations, including interface and the functionalities. Cultural difference and the international generate relations should be considered in the future research. And the future research is encouraged to further focus on short-term customer shopping intention. And limitations include cross-sectional data. That's all. Thank you.